The playtest for Xdefiant has concluded. The playtest for Xdefiant has concluded, and I wanted to share my final thoughts on the playtest we played over the weekend, and compare if things have changed in any major way since the beta last summer. I can confidently say, no, not much has changed, and this kinda hurts to say, but I really was expecting the netcode, hit registration, movement, and aiming to all have been improved over the last year that this game has been delayed. Unfortunately, they have not been improved. In fact, I'd say in some instances, it felt worse than the beta we had played last year, but we'll dive more into that soon. I want to go over what was good in this playtest before giving any criticism. I love the maps within Xdefiant. They're easily some of the most fun, colorful, unique maps I have played in an FPS game in years. Each map feels unique in their own way, and the maps follow a classic Call of Duty map design philosophy that even Call of Duty themselves, over the last few years, seemingly forgot was popular amongst its own fans. The maps in Xdefiant are typically a 3-lane design philosophy, and having this back feels so nice after not having these maps for the last 5 years of Call of Duty, with exceptions given to Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. With those Call of Duty games following a 3-lane design philosophy. Eliminating enemy players in Xdefiant feels really good. The punchiness of the elimination hit marker and the sound of getting an elimination feels really good. Like, the sound gives my brain the feedback I like. Like, it gives me a small dopamine rush every time I hear it. All of the game modes in Xdefiant are really fun to play, with more coming at launch of the full game. Within the playtest available to us, we had the following modes: Occupy, Escort, Zone Control, Domination, and Hotshot. Most of these game modes are fan favorites from Call of Duty, and some come from other FPS games, such as Overwatch. I will give one critique with Occupy. When the zone is getting ready to move, I wish it would notify where it's moving to a little bit sooner than it currently is right now. The factions within the game are really fun to play, but some are very frustrating. First and foremost, get rid of the cleaners having a passive ability that gives them incendiary rounds. The idea is inherently flawed. No faction should get passive damage over time abilities. But apart from that and the echelon issue of the character models being completely invisible, resulting in the faction being completely disabled for the entire duration of the playtest, apart from these issues with the factions, they are all really fun to play and give Xdefiant its own identity amongst other FPS games. Lack of skill-based matchmaking. Oh my god, it is so nice to be able to actually log into an FPS game again and actually be able to relax and try out a bunch of different things, because I don't feel like I have to use meta just to do halfway decent. I can actually enjoy the game for what it is, a video game. I can actually log into the game with my lesser skilled friends and actually have a good time and not feel like shit when my friends tell me they don't want to play with me anymore because my lobbies are too sweaty. Yes, Call of Duty, I'm looking directly at you. All of this feels really good, but the game is being held back by a myriad of issues that I can very easily notice. Netcode is terrible. I thought you guys at Ubisoft were delaying the game an entire year to fix this very issue. I understand that reworking the entire system from the ground up is very hard, but holy shit is it bad. The amount of times I was getting shot around corners when I thought I was clearly behind cover, but on the enemy screen I clearly wasn't, is shocking. It causes a huge disconnect between the player and the game. Players will begin feeling like they aren't in control of the outcome as the game determined they have died. This on top of aim assist feeling really off on the controller, and before anyone in the comments gets a wild hair up their ass with no skill cause you use aim assist, none of you understand anything about how game development works and why things work the way they do in video games. Aim assist exists to help with the range of motion motion of the thumb versus the range of motion of the entire arm with a PC. But that's a different video for a different time. Aim assist felt really off during the playtest. Like, it genuinely felt like sometimes my aim would lock up and I wouldn't be able to make the micro adjustments needed in order to possibly outperform my opponent. On top of those two issues, it felt like hit registration wasn't working sometimes. And I feel like that this is mostly connected to the netcode issues that Ubisoft has been having on the back end of the development of this game. Xdefiant, or any FPS game that is ever going to release to directly compete against Call of Duty, cannot launch with netcode issues and or hit registration issues at the degree that Xdefiant currently has. In conclusion, I had a lot of fun playing the Xdefiant playtest. However, I worry that the game needs to fix these issues before it can ever release. Because if Xdefiant released right now, the game would die in 2 weeks, tops. I want the game to succeed and do well for itself, but I am worried that if they don't get the game out soon with these issues nailed down and fixed fully, I feel as though they would have missed a huge opportunity to make a splash in the FPS market with this game. I fully believe in Ubisoft being able to fix these issues for Xdefiant and get the game ready for launch, because they have experienced Call of Duty pro players on the development team working on this game. They also have ex-Call of Duty developers working on this game. I have full faith in Xdefiant coming together and making a splash in the FPS scene. I also have faith in the team over at Ubisoft to get this game polished and in a state where we can all appreciate it and play it for what it is, and start enjoying the future content that the team over at Ubisoft is going to start putting together for us. I hear that the first season for Xdefiant is supposed to be Rainbow Six Siege related, with some fan favorite operators from Siege coming in. I could be wrong, but only time will tell. We have to first get the game in our hands in order to start planning on future content and stuff like that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, smash the like button and consider subscribing to stay up to date with all the latest content, and share the channel with your friends. It helps the channel grow. Have a great day, everyone.